Good evening, YouTube. Well, I'm here to talk about Greenleaf, Season 4, Episode 8. For some reason, there's only going to be 2 more episodes, so they're only having 10 episodes total in this series. Usually they run about 13, I believe. But these things are so rich, I don't know how they pack so much action in these episodes, but we'll do our best. Okay, so this is Episode 8. It opens up with Judy and Grace. Okay, Judy and Grace meeting in Judy's. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, so we've been wondering about what are the big plans for Harmony and Hope. I think some of it was revealed last week, but now Miss Judy. Judy is Bob's the big cheese, his daughter, right? And she's been tasked with telling Grace about their plans. So she tells Grace about these big plans they have for what's the place called? For the church. They done bought all the property around the church, right? They bought Jacob's property and other neighbors' property. They own everything. And they have plans for this big complex, this big religious complex, which includes bookstores and 5 restaurants. Now, 5 restaurants ought to tell you how big this thing's going to be, right? Later on in the episode, we'll see their renderings, their plans. And it's a big complex of buildings and so forth. Right. So she tells Grace about it. Then Grace immediately goes home to tell the family about it. No one likes this idea. They know these people are setting them up to take over everything, right? Particularly Bishop. But Grace tells the whole family. Next thing is Bishop and Mae have a strong reaction to this plan, right? Because it's all been kept so secret. Next thing is Jacob tells Mae and Bishop about Charity and her little goings on. Mae is furious. She thinks this girl cannot find a decent man to save her soul. Her whole love life has been riddled with problems. Now they see her as being used again. Right? So, Mae is talking to Grace. They're venting with each other. They both have problems with. Grace is talking about her issue with AJ, how she wants to hold him and make up for all this lost time, right? And then Mae is relating her experience with the girl, who's the one that died, the daughter that died. How she feels like she failed there. And in some way, she feels like she failed with Charity as well. Charity and these mishaps with her love life. So they bond. Their relationship is totally different than it has been for the first 3. Hold on a minute. I live right over the train, right? The San Francisco Muni goes right up in the window. So I got to close the window. Hold on a second. Oh, that's much better. Well, it's rush hour here, or a little after, about 6, and there's trains running like crazy. One of the things they did with my building when they remodeled it recently, they still are working on it, but one of the big things they did was put in these new double pane windows. We already had double pane windows, but these are new windows, so apparently they're even quieter than the other ones. Only problem is now I'm going to be suffocating in a minute because I can't let any air in here. But since I love you guys so much, I want you to be able to hear me. Okay, where were we at? Okay, so Mae and Gray hatch a plan. So far, Mae has not been invited to any of the board meetings, right? But her and Gray hatch a plan that she is going to have this engagement party for her and Bishop. But the real reason for the party is so that she can speak to the board about this plan of Harmony and Hope's. I'm not clear on what their relationship is now. I thought Harmony and Hope bought Calvary, but apparently not, because Harmony and Hope is still somewhat independent. They need their approval to do anything, right? So Mae and Grace says she cannot be implicated in this because she's still trying to gain control there. She can't show her hand, right? So Mae's got just invite this party, invite all the members. She says, don't invite Connie. That'll make her come. And she's right. Connie tries to manipulate her way in. She's invited to the party. She's coming to the party as well. Okay. All right. I don't know why Connie has so much power. I mean, Connie is head of the deacon board, right? But these people started and owned the church. How they were able to boot them out? I mean, I know according to the Bible, deacons run the church. This was something set up, I guess, by Paul and his people in the New Testament. But I don't know why this woman has so much power over the Greenleafs. Apparently she does. At one point, she was going to quit. They went over there begging her to come back. So I guess she can't be fired because she's the head of the deacon board. Strange arrangement there. Anyway, they hate each other. Okay. Miss Clarissa. I wish they get rid of her. Clarissa tells Jacob that they've lost the house, and she asks him to find out who will inherit the house when their parents pass. Now, I don't see how this doesn't make any sense to me. Clarissa is not going to be waiting around for Lady Mae, particularly Lady Mae. She's still a relatively young woman, and Bishop both to die. When they ask about who is going to inherit when they die, that means somebody's going to plan a murder, right? Now, we got 2 episodes left. So far, nobody's died in this season. Usually, up until this point, in the Greenleaf episode, they always climax in a murder, it seems like. So it seems like to me, Clarissa is going to be involved in the plot to murder these 2 people, Lady Mae and Bishop, in order to gain the home. Why else would he even be interested in who inherits? And specifically, who inherits when they die? All right. She asked Jacob, her husband, straight out. He says she says he should find out. And he says he don't want to do that. You don't feel like going in his parents' business. While he says he don't want to do it, he confronts her about why she was in this guy Fernando's office. Because Grace caught her coming out of that office. The deal was done. There was no reason for her to be there alone. She turns it on him about some of his past affairs. I guess that last one wasn't a real affair or one kiss kind of thing, but he had a history going back. Right? So she throws all that up in his face to divert from the fact that she had been fucking Fernando. Excuse my French. And he cowers to her. So that's what kind of woman he wants, I guess. But if she gonna plan on murdering the Greenleafs, then he will be free of this woman soon. 2 episodes left. Sophia walks into the cabin and catches Zora and her new friend watching home movies about the Greenleafs and things like that. I guess they're just trying to make it a point that Sophia's got a new best friend. I guess all 3 of them are living in the cabin for the moment. Sophia is back from school, and this girl has moved in with her temporarily. All right, so they watch home movies together. Judy now tells Phil about her big plans for Calvary, and he knew nothing about it. He didn't know anything about the purchase of the land. He's just been there thinking that he was the number 2 man, at least on this project, and he knew nothing about what their plans were. So she just told him, right? And it's hinted that something is going on between this white girl, Judy, who is Bob's daughter, and Phil. So apparently they've had an affair before. She's a married woman, but he has had an affair with her. Right? And now he's having an affair with Charity. She reassures him that he is appreciated. So we're going to still use you in this plot. But nobody really knows what's going on. One hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing, except for Bob. And perhaps Judy knows more than anybody else. But we're not even clear that she knows his full plan. Who does he plan to run the church? Judy lies to Grace and tell her that she's going to be the head. But that comes a couple of scenes later. Okay. Bishop confronts Charity about Phil. He just found out about his relationship with Phil. Phil has been the enemy so far in the season. And now he finds out his daughter is sleeping with him. He feels like she's being used. She feels like no one ever gives her a chance. No one ever uses her in the church. She can never preach. She's not appreciated. They love Grace best. She goes to that whole rigmarole. This girl's got it made. These are rich people. She's always lived in the mansion. She has maids taking care of her children. She has a top position in the music department of the church, but she's never satisfied. She wants to be the star, right? And she'll throw her whole family under the bus to achieve that. But we all feel, I'm sure, that she is going to be the one who ends up hurt here, because Phil is not just coincidentally falling in love with her. This damn Clarissa. Clarissa tricks the bishop. She wants to know where the will is. If this girl don't know these people are planning to murder these people, I don't know what she's thinking. They at least got another 20 years. So anyway, it's not been revealed that she knows that she's setting these people up to be murdered. But she wants to know where the will is, right? To find out who's on the will. I have a feeling that if she inherits, they're moving forward with this murder plot. But we got 2 episodes left, right? And there's almost always a killing in this Greenleaf thing each season. Just saying. She tricks him, telling him she wants the marriage certificates, figuring that that's the same place where the will would be kept. He just goes along. He's kind of dumb as far as this girl goes. He takes her into their bedroom to a portrait where their safe is, their home safe is. And he sits there and twists the alarm right while she's sitting there watching. So, she got some good eyes, but she apparently sees because she comes back to rob the safe. Right? She says she wants this document for something for the party, but they don't need it for the party. She just wants to get a hold of this will. So as she's leaving, she runs into Mae. Lady Mae wants to know, what are you doing in my bedroom with my husband? She asks Bishop that, and he gives her the story. Oh, it's innocent. She just wants to see the marriage certificate for a presentation or something like that. Lady Mae, now this is reaching. Lady Mae knows something is not right instantly, right? They just give her, for this scene, they just give her a certain knowing look. Something that flies in the soup. And this girl is not interested in that. She's interested in that safe for some reason. So in the next scene or two, Clarissa comes back to rob the safe during this party they're having. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but she sneaks upstairs to rob the safe. Now she knows the combination. She gets to the safe and there's nothing in the safe. So that's what I mean by this is kind of reaching, because how did Lady Mae know this girl was after their will? Now if somebody wants to see my will to see if they're inheriting whatever everything I got, that person will be moving out that night. They're not going to be hanging around till I die of natural causes. Feel me? But they're rolling this out very slowly. Mae has moved everything out of the safe. She may not know what Clarissa was after, but she's pretty sure it wasn't that marriage certificate. After Bishop confronts Charity about this guy, he's using her. He doesn't trust him. He says, okay, she goes into her whining thing about how no one loves me and all this stuff. And then he says, okay, invite Phil to the party. So Phil is there at the party also. Although they want Phil to be there anyway because he is part of this board. He was at the board meeting when this girl made the presentation. Okay. Judy finds out about the party. No one tells her about the party. She finds out and basically invites herself to the party. Although officially, Grace says, okay, you can come. But she thinks something's up. She smells a rat as well. She thinks Mae is up to something. And she is. So they all have these powers, I guess. Everybody knows what everybody's up to. Okay, Jacob. Now, Jacob does something stupid. I think it's kind of out of character. This guy, Dante, that he had a job with to mentor and be a spiritual counselor with, he lost a job because he got in a fight, right? It was blasted all over the internet. Now he goes to Dante. Dante's this young athlete who everyone around him is constantly wanting money. It goes along with the package. You got a lot of money, everybody around you broke. People are always asking him for stuff, right? So he's good. He's happy to see Jacob initially. But then Jacob goes on to this thing about some other athlete, how they gave away, how they supported the school or whatever. And this would look good for Dante, right? Then he drops it. He wants this money for his wife's school. Dante immediately picks up on it. He feels used. He said, oh, that's why you're here. You want money. I thought you were different, kind of thing like that. And I'm sure all these rich people go through this, even with their own family. Everybody needs something, you know. Everybody's mortgage due. This dude wants him to support this school, which is his wife's school. So he lets him know how he feels about it right away. So now he's messed up with Dante. And he's not getting any money for any school. You see what I mean by a lot of shit in this? I mean, that's got a lot of stuff packed in this 1 hour. Okay, next thing we see, Judy makes her presentation to the board. She tells them all their big plans. She has a big screen where she's showing all the renderings of all these buildings and so forth. And she drops what they're after. They want to expand the board. The board now has 12 people. They want to expand it by 12 more people. In other words, they want to bring in H&H, Harmony and Hope. They want to bring in 12 people from their team, from their organization, and expand the size of the board. They're going to build all these buildings. They own all the property. I guess they want a partnership with Harmony with Calvary, but they want 50%. Basically, they want 50% of the church. They're going to be 50% of everything, right? So all they're going to need to turn the tide, if they get 50%, is one vote. And they got Connie in their pocket. They've already paid Connie to make this whole Harmony and Hope thing happen. So their plan is they want them to agree to 50% of everything, right? There's no vote at this point. They want them to think about it. Okay, so it's revealed that Phil and this girl were an item. He was having an affair with her. It's over. I think I said that already, but okay. Mae, when everybody's gathered at this party, it was supposed to be her engagement party. She goes in this whole thing about 50%. How bad it is to get into a business deal or relationship or anything 50-50. Because all it would take one vote to tip the scales, to take over everything, right? She's supposed to be talking about her engagement, but she is preaching basically to the board. I mean, it's a whole party there, but she's preaching to them. This is the only way she could get an audience with them, right? The white girl, Judy, she peeps this. This is exactly what she was nervous about, or she suspected would happen. Okay, so we're nearing the end here. So she makes her deal. Her and Connie have this big spat. She's, Connie is confronting Mae in her own house. She's telling her she didn't believe the story about her father raping her. She thought that was a plot to get the sympathy of the board. And now this whole thing here was a plot as well. Mae, I don't know why Mae don't just let this bitch have it. I just don't understand this girl having this much power over their church, the church that they built and run them out of. This is all Connie, because she's the head of the deacon board. Okay, so Mae, after their little spat, opens the front door and invites Miss Connie to leave. But she does not go off on her. Not yet. We're heading for climaxes here, people. We have two episodes left. Mr. Dante. We're not finished with him yet. Dante comes over. He done kicked his girlfriend out, right? The girlfriend's staying temporarily with Zora in the cabin. While the party's going on, he shows up with a box of stuff of this girl's stuff. He figures everyone's at the party. He just walks into the cabin and he finds Sophia there. Sophia there alone. And those two start making googly eyes at each other. I don't understand this girl, Sophia. So far, she hasn't done anything crazy. She's not as wild as Zora. I could see Zora doing something like this. But this man, who she's never met, they meet, smile, and grin at each other a little bit. And he invites her to go on a ride with him. She don't even know this dude. And she says yes. So now, I guess they're setting us up for an affair between Sophia and Dante, which of course is going to put her at odds with the ex-girlfriend and with Zora, who had the hots for him as well. Maybe they're setting that up for the next season. I don't know how they're going to crowd all this into 2 more episodes. Anyway, she takes off with him. Okay. So Bishop goes to Charity's suite. Sits down and tells her she thinks that he wants her to break up with Phil, right? She says, no, I'm just asking you to not move forward. Don't go any further with this. I don't know how they could be engaged. It seems like they had a couple of dates. Maybe they made out. I don't even know if they even had sex yet. But Bishop is telling her to postpone going on any further with him until Grace has taken over the church as the head pastor. This was the plan all along. They have to cool everything off until Grace is in charge. Right? Of course, this girl, Charity, she's hot because it's her. It's always her. She's the one important. I gotta wait for her. All that stuff. But just been her personality the whole time, basically. So she runs to tell Phil that that tape that he had made, he made a tape of Grace confessing that she lied to protect her son. She bursts into his office, tell him to use it. It's time for my sister to pay. It's the evil little thing. And that's pretty much where they ended. Right? Like I said, there's a whole lot packed into these episodes. Maybe they are ending this season short of 13 episodes. There's only 10 episodes. But they are certainly packing a lot into this thing. And the writing is not coming off rushed. It's not like when Empire tries to rush stuff, they just end storylines, just start something else. They're doing their best to bring this to a climax. I think the climax is I'm just guessing, there's going to be a murder plot against the bishop and Lady Mae. Okay, so that's where they left it. 2 episodes left. We'll see you next week, people. Hope I didn't go on too long. 25 minutes. I usually go 20, but there's a lot going on there. Baby, please be quiet. I got to go tend to the child.